Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari, Gopijana Vallabha, Girivaradhari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jabihari, Gopijana. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari, Gopijana Vallabha, Girivaradhari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari, Gopijana Vallabha. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Anandana Kanchana Yamuna Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunja Bihari. Krishna. Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari, Gopijana Vallabha, Girivaradhari. Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari, Girivaradhari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Maya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jugadharma Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Samet Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva. Text number 37. Swarga Pavarga Dwaraya Nityam Suchi Sade Namaha Namo Hiranya Viryaya चातुर्होत्रयतन्तवे स्वर्गापवर्गद्वाराय नित्यं शुचि सदे नमः नमो हिरण्यवीर्याय चातुर्होत्राय तन्तवे स्वर्गापवर्गद्वाराय नित्यं शुचि सदे नमः नमो हिरण्यवीर्याय चातुर्होत्राय तन्तवे तंतवे नित्यं शुचि सदे नमः Any Matajis? Svarga, the heavenly planets. Apavarga, the path of liberation. Dvaraya, onto the door of. Nityam, eternally. Suchi Sade, onto the most purified. Namaha, my obeisances unto you. Namaha, my obeisances. Hiranya, gold. Viryaya, semen. Chatuhotraya, the Vedic sacrifices of the name. Tantave, onto one who expands. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My Lord, O Aniruddha, you are the authority by which the doors of the higher planetary systems and liberation are opened. You are always within the pure heart of the living entity. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto you. You are the possessor of semen, which is like gold, and thus, in the form of fire, you help the Vedic sacrifices, beginning with Chaturhotra. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto you. Purport. The word Svarga indicates a position in the higher or heavenly planetary systems, and the word Apavarga means liberation. Those are attached to the Karma Kandiya activities described in the Vedas are actually entangled in the three modes of material nature. The Bhagavad Gita therefore says that one should be above the dominion of fruitive activities. There are different kinds of liberation or mukti. The best mukti is engagement in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Not only does Lord Aniruddha help fruitive actors by elevating them to the higher planetary systems, but he also helps the devotee engage in devotional service by dint of his inexhaustible energy. Just as heat is a source of material energy, the inspiration of Lord Aniruddha is the energy by which one can engage in executing devotional service. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्स्वे नमः. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते. तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangulanga ite girim. Yat kripaha tamaham mande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So before I start, I seek the blessings of His grace, Anandmai Prabhu, and all the assembled Vaishnavas, so that I can glorify the Supreme Lord for my purification of heart. So this is a very beautiful section where Lord Shiva is guiding the Prachetas and also all of us how to serve the Supreme Lord. Actually, uh, the Supreme Lord, when he sees that a living entity is very sincerely searching for him, so he will send his representatives to help, so that they can be properly guided. Guru Krishna Prasade by Bhakti Lata Beach. So just like here Lord Shiva came to guide the Prachetas, same way we see in Srimad Bhagavatam in several situations how different devotees were sent to guide. Like Dhruv Maharaj went to the forest with an intense desire to achieve a kingdom greater than Lord Brahma, but as guided by his mother, he wanted to worship Lord Vishnu for achieving it. So, although it was a material desire, but he wanted to strongly, very intensely take shelter of Lord Vishnu. So, because he had that desire, so Krishna has sent Narada Muni to guide him. So, one devotee was telling that this is known as super soul network. So, we have so many types of networks in this world, Airtel or different like that. So that may work only in some places. The range is limited to only this world and few places in this world. But Super Soul Network works not only in this world, but in all the planets, in all the universes. Wherever there is a living entity uh, eager to know about Krishna, hear about Krishna, serve Krishna, so Krishna will send his representative to help them, to guide them. So in the same way we see that Parikshit Maharaj, when he was cursed to die in 7 days, so he also wanted to take shelter of Lord. Uh, so that time Lord sent Sukadeva Goswami, and also all the sages from all over the universe, they assembled there, hundreds of them. So there was no WhatsApp common message sent that no, now there is going to be a Bhagavad Saptah and all of you please come, right? There was nothing like that. Uh, so Lord arranged, or Lord indicated all those sages, and they all appeared there to hear from Sukadeva Goswami. So in the same way here, Lord Shiva came to guide the Prachetas. And here Prachetas, here Lord Shiva, the previous verses before he starts explaining this prayers which should be offered to the Supreme Lord. So he mentions how we should be singing these prayers. Jai Shri Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai ki Jai. So here it is mentioned in the previous verses, Lord Shiva is telling, you are all devotees of the Lord, and as such I appreciate that you are as respectable as Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. I know in this way that the devotees also respect me and that I am dear to them. Then he says, now I shall chant one mantra which is not only transcendental, pure and auspicious, but it is the best prayer for anyone who is aspiring to attain the ultimate goal of life. When I chant this mantra, please hear it carefully and attentively. So Lord Shiva is telling this is how we should be hearing this prayers to the Supreme Lord. And the sons of the king were standing with folded hands with great reverence and respect towards Lord Shiva. So, this is the mood in which Lord Shiva is telling us that we should be hearing. So, actually, Lord Shiva is always eager to connect the living entities to Krishna. So, one devotee was telling that he was a very ardent devotee of Lord Shiva. So, very sincerely worshipping Lord Shiva. So, but he wanted to surrender to a real guru who can guide him. So, one day in the night he had a dream where Lord Shiva told that tomorrow one very genuine guru is going to come, go and surrender to him. So, next day when he got up and he saw the newspaper, he saw an ad, ISKCON International Society, one genuine guru from Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is coming, like that. So then he went and surrendered to His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. The real story. So even now Lord Shiva is guiding his sincere devotees to Krishna, to gurus in the proper sampradaya. So this is how Lord Shiva is always eager to guide the living entities. So here he is glorifying Lord, one of the expansions of Lord Aniruddha. So we see that Lord Shiva is constantly in meditation, right? So he is in meditation on Lord Sankarshan, fully absorbed. Actually, even when Daksha was upset with Lord Shiva, when he came into that sacrifice, everyone got up except him. So it is said that actually Lord Shiva was fully absorbed in meditation on Lord Sankarshan. He was oblivious to the surroundings. So that's how he is teaching all of us also how we should be absorbed in serving the Supreme Lord. So here Lord Shiva is telling that actually by worshipping him, the doors for the heavenly planets and the liberation are open for his devotees. So actually these are generally aspired by those people who are do karma kanda activities. Generally the devotees, they don't aspire. Even Salokya Sarishti Samapya Sarupya Ekatvam Apyuta Niyamanam Nagrananti Vinamatsevanam Gata. So it is said that the devotees, they don't even aspire the 5 kinds of liberation which are there. Even Salokya, Sarupya, going to the same planet of the Supreme Lord, or getting the same form of the Supreme Lord, or Sarishti, getting the same opulences of the Supreme Lord, or Samipya, staying always near the Lord, or even liberation, Sarupya, Sayuja. So all these are not aspired by the devotees. But for those who are worshipping Lord, these are very easily achieved. So, but the devotees, Nadanam na janam na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanishware, bhavatat bhakti rahaitu kitvai. They only want to render devotional service to the Lord, life after life. They are not aspiring for any of these things. So, but the Lord is kind, He liberates His devotees. So, here it's mentioned that the Lord is always within the pure heart of the living entity. Okay. So the Lord is willing to stay in the heart of His pure devotees. Govinda Vishram, that song is there, where Lord is willing to take rest in the heart of His devotees. So generally it is said that the super soul is always standing. But the Supreme Lord Krishna manifests in the heart of His pure devotees. So any place, if it is very dirty, nobody likes to even stand or sit there, right? Because it is dirty, it's not good, right? So, but if a place is very clean, then people like to go and sit there, right? So, our heart is supposed to be clean for the Lord to appear and stay there. But if our heart is filled with all impurities, lust, greed, anger, all these impurities, then Lord will not be willing to appear. There is super soul, but Krishna will not manifest in our heart. So why Krishna appeared in the heart of Vasudev and Devaki? It is said that because they were in the status of Vasudev, in the sense pure, and pure goodness, completely pure. Their hearts were completely filled with love and devotion for the Supreme Lord. There is no tinge of impurity in their heart. So that's why Lord appeared in their hearts. So, and whoever carries such a pure heart, or whoever carries the Supreme Lord in their heart, wherever they go, that place also becomes Vrindavan. Because their heart is Vrindavan, their heart is Vrindavan, so Lord is willing to come and stay in their heart. And so wherever those devotees go, travel, they make those places also non-different from Vrindavan. So actually, recently we had last week this Rath Yatra. So Rath Yatra is actually meditation on various things, like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Srimati Radharani is trying to bring back Krishna to Vrindavan. But another meditation for the devotees could be that we want to invite the Lord back to our hearts. Our heart is currently very impure. So if you purify our heart, make it clean, we can again request the Lord to come and reside in our heart. So that could be another meditation. But our heart should be clean for the Lord to come and reside. So that's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, before the Rath Yatra, there was this Gundicha Marjan one day before the Rath Yatra. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions in the commentary for that particular verses on Gundicha Marjan that how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very, very enthusiastic to clean his heart, to clean Gundicha Marjan. So he was collecting more dust than all the devotees together. Whatever all the devotees gathered, more than that he was gathering. And those who collected lot of dust, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was appreciating. And those who didn't collect much, he was chastising them. Okay. So what it represents, that one should be very enthusiastic in chanting the glories of the Lord, hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord and purifying one's heart. Right? One should be very, very eager for it. The more you clean your heart, the more Lord will be pleased. And the more you don't do it, Lord is unhappy. Right? That is what we should understand. Lord was praising those devotees who were those who were cleaning and collecting lot of dust. Personally, Lord also was involved in cleaning the Gundicha temple. So we should also be very, very enthusiastic in cleaning our heart. Right? So generally, we are very enthusiastic only to keep the externals clean, like our clothes or sometimes in our surroundings. Somebody is in ignorance, they may not even do that. But generally, we want to keep our clothes and surroundings clean so that others appreciate us, and we also feel that what will others think. But then when it comes to the heart, generally we are very negligent. We are very, very negligent. One thing is, sometimes those who are in ignorance and passion, they may not be even in goodness, they may not, unless they hear this transcendental knowledge from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, They are not even aware that they have to clean their heart. They are totally immersed in the bodily conception of life. They don't understand that our heart is contaminated and we have to purify this heart. No, they don't even know this, right? And even after knowing us also, even ourselves also, even if we know, sometimes we are very negligent because we know to some extent that is there, that lust, greed, all these things are there, but we don't focus on removing them, right? So suppose we have some serious disease like COVID, we had some time back. So we see that how people are very, very careful to avoid it, or even to, once they get infested, to get out of it, because they are very fearful that they may die. They take all the precautions, then all the medicines. They are very careful to avoid it, to overcome it if they are deceased. But when it comes to these diseases of the heart, uh, actually these are more dangerous than those physical diseases. These are more dangerous than even cancer and whatever deadly diseases. Why? Because those physical diseases may destroy once this body. Uh, but these deadly diseases of the heart, lust, greed, anger, this is the root cause of all the material existence. And this is causing us to take birth again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi varanam. That is the root cause, right? Because we have lust, greed, anger, envy, all this anarthas. That's why we are forced to take birth again and again in this material world, right? And that is the root cause of all suffering, right? So when something is really dangerous and very deadly, right? So we are very, very careful to overcome it, right? We have to take immediate action, right? Suppose there is a snake, deadly snake, right here. So we can't just relax, right? Either we should run away from it or kill it, right? So otherwise it will, what will it do? It will bite us. We will die. So actually our impurities are like that. If you don't purify them, they will purify us. In the sense, we get affected by them. We get influenced by those anarthas. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, actually it is mentioned how a practitioner should be very careful. There it's mentioned, the mind is compared to a unchaste wife, and the impurities, lust, greed, anger, they are compared to the paramours of the wife. So it's mentioned, if the person is not careful in dealing with the unchaste wife, then the same paramours will kill that husband. So same way this lust, greed, anger, if you don't carefully deal with them and remove them, then those very impurities can finish us off. Means both, even sometimes physically also. Sometimes in anger, lust, people, that causes even physical harm. Like Ravana, he and his whole army and kingdom is destroyed because of his lust. So even physically or spiritually, both ways, one may be dead because of this anarthas. So one should very seriously consider these enemies of our heart. We should not take it very lightly. Now generally enemies are external. In the sense, when you see some enemy externally with some gun or knife, or you know that he is going to harm us, then we are like very, very careful, and we know him, so we try to avoid him or keep distance and do the needful, right? But then when the enemy is internal and we are also not conscious of him, then it can do the greatest damage for us, right? When you know someone is a spy and he's your enemy, but you don't know that he's enemy, then that spy can do greatest damage, right? So Prabhupada said actually taking to Krishna consciousness means waging a war against Maya. Uh, so it's really a war, because the mind, the contaminated mind, is always trying to drag us to sense gratification, to material existence. So we are in constant fight with the contaminated mind. But we cannot wage this war on our own. Just like Arjuna, he cannot win, the Pandavas could not win the Kurukshetra war on their own, with their own strength, because the opposite side were the most powerful generals, like Bhishma, Drona, and all this, most powerful personalities. So they can very easily kill the Pandavas and all the other people. But because they had Krishna, Jayastu Panduputranam Isham Pakshe Janardana. So because they had Krishna, that's why they were successful in their war. So same way, in our fight with this impurities, this eternal enemies, so we need to have Krishna on our side. That's why Daivi hi Yesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya Mamevaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. So Krishna is also telling that Mama Maya Duratya, it is very, very difficult to overcome this material existence. With our own strength, actually we cannot overcome this. It's foolish to think that I can overcome these impurities on my own. We can never overcome. But if you take shelter of Krishna, then it's very easy to overcome this impurities by mercy of Krishna. So these are very powerful enemies. So we need to take shelter of Krishna. So Krishna has very kindly given us various ways and means to actually serve Him, the 9 process of devotional service. Through any of these ways, one can actually take shelter of Lord and achieve perfection, purify one's heart. So one should take shelter of Krishna through one of these 9 ways, especially Prabhupada says through Shravanam and Kirtanam, because this is most easy and anybody can do, there is no qualification required for this. So one should consider himself very fortunate that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada have given us this most wonderful opportunity to purify our hearts. This is the root cause of our material existence, and we should feel that I have been suffering from so many lifetimes because of this impurities. There is a dire need or urgency in removing this. Just like during epidemic, there is no urgency declared, right? Where people try to help them, whatever needs they have. So same way, there is a great urgency actually. Although we may feel what urgency is there, everything is okay. No, actually we are in so much ignorance that we don't feel any urgency. That is because of our ignorance. So I like that story of Indra cursed to become that hog. So in that story we see that how Brahmaji later comes and tells, no, enough of this, being this hog. Now you can come back to Swargaloka and take back your position of being Indra. But then as a hog he says, no, I am very satisfied. No, I have my wife and piglets and very nice place, cooling water, nice food. So he becomes so much attached to that conditions, so that he doesn't want to come. So Brahmaji was shocked that, where is heavenly planet and where is this gutter? No, he is lying in the gutter, eating stool and all this horrible condition. But then he is not willing to come back. He is completely surprised. So same way, living entities in material world, they become so much attached to this material conditions, conditioned to this bodily conception of life, or conditioned to the sufferings they are undergoing. They think that this is part of life, to undergo birth, old age, disease, death. threefold miseries, adhyatmika, adibhautika, adidaivic klesh. They feel that this is part of life. But actually this need not be part of our life. Right? Actually our real life is to serve Krishna, eternally be Sachidananda. We are eternal living entities. We are full of knowledge, full of bliss. There is no need to suffer even a tinge of suffering. Right? But we are constantly immersed in so many troubles and tribulations in this world. But we have become so much conditioned to the sufferings, we feel that this is part of our life to suffer. But actually it's not required for the living entity to suffer so horribly. It's not required. He can have eternal loving relationship with Krishna. He can eternally be joyful, joyfully be situated. Right? So we are so much in ignorance that we are not able to realize our very fallen position. So Prabhupada, that's why he gave us this transcendental wisdom, Srimad Bhagavatam and all the books, so that it creates a great need of urgency in us, that we have to immediately take shelter of Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead. Because we should feel enough of this material existence, enough of this material body, enough of this material miseries. We should be fed up. How many more lifetimes I'll keep suffering like this? So many lifetimes I have been suffering horribly in this material existence, and I am being fooled by this mind and senses again and again. Although they are assuring happiness, but actually they are only giving misery. I am foolishly being cheated by this mind and senses. So a devotee should be determined that I should go back home, back to Godhead in this very life. And whatever is required to purify my heart, I am ready to do it. So that should be the determination. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very enthusiastic in cleaning the Gundicha temple, so we should also be very enthusiastic to clean our heart. So after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cleaned once, he didn't stop. Again, second time, second round cleaning. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that there will be subtle desires for enjoyment. Puja, la, pratishtha. Even they also have to be removed. So these subtle desires for enjoyment are very deep in our heart. Right? The proprietorship, controllership, enjoyership mentalities, these are very deeply rooted. So unless these subtle desires are removed, we cannot go back home, back to God. Just like that. So Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas have given us this most wonderful opportunity of engaging in devotional service. So here as Lord Shiva is helping the Prachetas to worship Lord Vishnu, same way Srila Prabhupada very kindly is guiding all of us through his books. So we should be very grateful to him for giving us this knowledge and for giving us this inspiration, as here it is mentioned, so that we can also purify our hearts and go back home, back to Godhead. It's a most wonderful opportunity. So Prabhupada said that those who come to this Krishna consciousness, they are very fortunate. But those who come and leave, they are most unfortunate. Right? Those who don't come are unfortunate. Yeah. So and those who come and leave are most unfortunate. So we should not become unfortunate, most unfortunate, because this Krishna consciousness is like Chintamani stone. It's a very valuable thing. If you think it's something ordinary and don't take it seriously, then we lose the opportunity. Right? So that's why we should be very grateful. So the more we are grateful for what we are receiving, the more we take it seriously. Otherwise, if we are not grateful for what we receive, then we don't take it seriously. We should feel that actually I am not qualified to receive this transcendental knowledge or to receive the holy name the opportunity to associate with Vaishnavas and render devotional service, actually we are not qualified. But Krishna and Srila Prabhupada, they are so kind that they are giving me this opportunity. So, in that grateful state of mind, it becomes very easy to practice devotional service. Then the mercy of Lord and Guru enters, is absorbed in our heart. The more you are grateful, the more mercy is absorbed in our heart. So, this is the mood in which we should try to serve the Lord. And another thing here, it's mentioned that in the form of fire, you help the Vedic sacrifices, beginning with Chaturhutra. So, the fire in the Vedic sacrifices, the Agni Kunda is compared with the mouth of the Lord, and the fire is, compared to the fire in the Ahuti is compared to the food. Yeah. So, and the Yajna Kunda is compared to the mouth of the Lord. So, in the previous times, in the Treta Yuga, so this was the main practice where people used to perform this Vedic sacrifices and serve the Lord. But in Kali Yuga, actually, it is very difficult for people to perform this. So, the best process in this age, the best sacrifice is Sankirtan Yajna. Again, Srila Prabhupada mentions that this is the only means in Kali Yuga. No other means is going to work. And actually, we see that in Hyderabad, during this Rath Yatra, we have seen that how devotees have very sincerely endeavored to conduct so many Rath Yatras. Just from ISKCON Hyderabad itself, we had almost 20-25 Rath Yatras in various parts of Hyderabad. And we see that how when there is Sankirtan, so many new people, they actually come and participate. They sing, they dance, they serve, completely new people, right? So they actually start becoming introduced to Krishna consciousness, and slowly they become devotees. So this is actually the process which is going to transform people, because the mass of people, immediately they will not come to lectures, they may not be so much attracted to the philosophy. But Prabhupada says chanting, dancing, and feasting, everybody likes. So, this is a most wonderful means to introduce Krishna consciousness to the conditioned souls who are completely in the modes of passion and ignorance. So, by that, millions of living entities can be introduced to Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada had that faith. That's why he started doing kirtan in the Tompkins Square Park alone, and slowly so many hippies got attracted, and later on they came for the Bhagavad Gita sessions, right? So that is the only means which is going to actually work in this Kali Yuga. So, as representatives of Srila Prabhupada, we should actually travel nook and corner of this world and try to introduce this Sankirtan movement to various people. And it is natural, it's not that it's only for Hindus or a particular sect of people. Prabhupada has proved it that this Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sabukayanai Shavanadi Suddha Chitta Karayavdai. So, love for Krishna is dormant in the hearts of every living entity. Only we have to awaken it by giving them opportunity to engage in devotional service. So, but when we bring the conditioned souls near Krishna, in association with Krishna and devotees, naturally that loving and serving propensity awakens in them. So, this is a wonderful opportunity for us, and we also actually in that process, we also become very dear to Krishna, and our love also further enhances. Nachatasman manusheshu kashvin me priyakritama. Those who actually propagate this message of Krishna consciousness, they are very dear to Krishna. So in this way, just like Lord Shiva is here propagating the message of Krishna, same way we are also supposed to do that. Prabhupada was asked, what is the best way to show gratitude to you? Prabhupada said, whatever you received, you share with others. That is how you can show gratitude towards me. So we are very fortunate to receive that knowledge. So we should accept it seriously and also share with others. Hare Krishna. Any question? Anybody has any question? Where it is mentioned? I exactly don't know the verse, but it's there somewhere. I have to. Huh? Bhagavad Gita, I don't know the exact verse. You know the verse? I'll check and tell. Or Anand may prove the verse number in Bhagavad Gita.
Hare Krishna.
We'll try to check and tell you.
Yes.
Exact verse number I am not.
And my next question is how to come out from this bodily conception of life?
Yeah, so that's why Krishna spoke the entire second chapter from 2.13 to almost 30. Generally, any philosophy, in general, there may be one or two verses, but there Krishna is elaborately explaining the concept of soul, right? Not only in Bhagavad Gita, but even in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see so many devotees speaking about this concept of soul. So, this is the most fundamental knowledge, foundation of spiritual life. So, we should first of all study what is mentioned in the scriptures again, understand it, and also try to apply. So, applying means basically engaging in the process of devotional service more and more. The more you engage in devotional service, the heart becomes pure. Then we come out of this bodily conception. Now, currently, we are very attached to sense gratification. So, that's why we become attached to this body, right? But when you give up sense gratification, right, then you don't become attached to this body. And gradually, Krishna will give you that realization. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam daninas tattva darshana. So, Guru is tattva darshi. He has seen the truth. So, if you serve Guru as per this verse, no, if you serve him very obediently, ask relevant questions, and if Krishna and Guru are pleased, they will give you this Divya Gyan Hridaya Prakashito. You will realize this transcendental wisdom in your heart. So for that we have to surrender to the Guru. Okay, so we should keep regularly studying Prabhupada books and apply those instructions. So gradually over a period of time we come out of this bodily conception. So but currently we are very conditioned because we have been so many lifetimes we have been engaging in sense gratification. So we always are in the thinking or in the mood that I am this body, right? We have to come out of this, right? So when you start hearing, then you gradually will realize, okay? But also we should have utsaha, nishaya, dhairya. We should have enthusiasm, patience and confidence in this process. So if you stick to the process, surely we will come out of this bodily conception. The proof is that we gradually give up sense gratification. Whether we are coming out of bodily conception means we are reducing our sense gratification, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Prabhupada at the end of his life, he said, no more eating, no more sleeping, means towards the fag end of no more mating, no more defending. End of material life. So material life is all about this. So Nidra, Ahara, Vihara, Kadi, Vijitav. The Goswamis also, they gave up these things, reduced this. Okay? Hare Krishna. So we'll end here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveda Gaura Bhaktavind ki jai.